of the furnace, live on Muvi TV from Zambia's capital city, Lusaka. Today happens to be the 26th of January in the year 2021. My name is Innocent, period. Of course, you can simply call me IP. Now, we discuss issues to deal with the mining sector in Zambia, and more especially the issues to deal with illegal mining activities in our country. Now, Zambia today boasts of being among the top world's copper producer with at least 10% of the copper reserves, while in Africa, Zambia ranks second largest in copper production. The country also remains one of the world's largest cobalt producers, as well as the world's largest emeralds mine. The mining industry is an important pillar of the economy, contributing about 12% and 75% of the gross domestic product, GDP, and also exports, respectively. However, government has in the recent past prioritized economic diversification to move away from the over-dependence on the extractive industry in line with the Vision 2030 and under, of course, through the 7th National Development Plan. Unfortunately, the mining sector has been associated with illegal activities such as the recent saga that happened in Northwestern Province, and of course, we did see the dismissal of some people that lost their political positions. That was at the newly discovered gold mining at Kasenseli Gold Mine in Mwinlunga district. Now, illegal mining is our topic of discussion this evening, and of course my guest is one of the experts, as well as a man who is in charge of the Youth League in Zambia. His name is Malambo Oashuhood, of course, president of the Youth League in Zambia. Mr. Oashuhood, I hope I will be able to pronounce your name correctly. Welcome to my program.
Thank you so much, IP.
Thank you so much. It's been long since you were here. Remember, that was about 6 months ago.
Yeah, indeed. It has been so long. I think now it's about 7 months.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year. Same to you. Same to you. Happy New Year to the people of Zambia.
Right. You are joining me for this very cardinal discussion we have, where we are discussing one of the most important sectors of the economy in Zambia, the mining sector. And you are among the people that have got that keen interest to ensure to it that the sector flourish just like other sectors we have in our country. And this is the mining sector. Let's begin on this note. We look at the illegal mining activities in Zambia that, of course, I believe that way back in Kasenseli, where we saw some people, being arrested, the likes of Jackson Kungo from the Patriotic Front in Northwestern Province. Along the way, again, he was suspended and later on lost his position. You are coming from there. Are you able to update the nation with regards to what revelations would you want to share, which is on the ground right now? Is there any peace and order as we speak?
Mr. IP, there's peace in Kasenseli.
Right.
The CCM has done a lot, which has made to contribute the GDP of this country, number one. Number two, His Royal Highness Chief Chibwika also has contributed to sensitize or to teach the people around the community. The reduction or the reducing of illegal activities in Mwinilunga has gone to zero, because I think one of the happiest things His Excellency has done of the Republic of Zambia is to sit down, to talk to the ZCCM CEO, who's on top of things, making sure that ZCCM is a no-go area. It is for the purpose and for the goodness of the Zambian people. And also, Honorable Musukwa and his staffs at Ministry of Mines, they have gone around in the country contributing to the so-called noise situation into Kasenseri mine. He has therefore come up with an idea to give the panning certificates, the locals, like the Kasenseri Limited Company, to the youths of the locals in Kasenseri. There are so many discoveries happening around Munyilunga. So I believe that what Mr. Chipata has done, and the Minister of Mines and PS, they have come up with an idea to make sure that every indigenous Zambian benefits to the minerals of northwestern in Kasenseri, neither also in Mumbu and other places. Initially, they have come up with a growing up of artisans, also the cooperatives which have been made around the people of Munyilunga. Also, they are going back to teach them how mining goes all about. So, as at now, as we are talking, it's 100% for the CCM. Initially, in mining, there are phases, IP, that you should understand. There are phases, Mr. Innocent. The CCM can never just come and dream and build up a smelter for $25 million. It's a lie. They need to do drilling, they need to do a lot of things around the licenses. So now they are initially going in phases with the new company called Zambia Gold. They are producing little by little. They are putting too much expenses around the area so that they should come up with money to build up a plant that can produce a ton, 2 ton, 3 ton to the benefit of the people of Zambia. That's what one key which His Excellency, I think, has insisted to also say, make sure that the CCMIH should be a no-go area for anyone. Even if he's a minister, just to go there and say, no, therefore for God. It's nothing like that. Mr. Chipata has done his work, has made sure that his people should be five things. Honest. This is what Robbie Mwansa was talking about when he had a meeting with them. And I believe that the people of Kasenseri, they're still being taught. You know, it's a phase in life. You are taught how mining goes about, the dangers of mining, the goodness of mining. All those things have been put in place to the people of Munyilunga. Also, we would like to thank His Royal Highness, His Royal Highness Chief Chibuika, Mr. Julius Muhinda, for helping the CCMIH to make sure that his local people should not go to the area where they're mining. He has been insisting, telling the people around those areas. And if you go to Munyilunga today, the PF government, to say, in place now, they have done a good job. That's what I can say for now.
All right. You were among the whistleblowers, I remember, in the Jackson Congo saga. You know, I'm much interested to take you back a little bit for the sake of the viewers that are watching us maybe for the first time or watching this discussion for the first time.
Yes, please.
Really, what went wrong at that particular moment? Just a refresh to that.
Initially, you know, I'll take you back, IP, what I'll say to you is that when there were 2 companies of Kampoko and PCB, and the owner of the license was Shiriwe Mining, so many things were happening. They never applied for artisan licenses. Right. They did apply, they had some artisan licenses, of course, but when you are doing mining, what the minister himself had seen, or the PS or experts in mining sector in the Ministry of Mines, was that both minings were doing illegal mining. So it took, imagine the country, it took the head of state.
When you say both mines?
Both mines, they were the Kampoko and PCB.
All right.
PCB and Kampoko, they were doing some mining, they were neighbors. So there was a little bit illegal mining happening around that area.
Are these local miners?
These are local miners.
Okay.
So initially it took the president, we went for a certain different issue in Munyilunga to go and open up the solar panels for His Royal Highness Senior Chief Chibuika to that side. So from there, he decided to pass through the mines, and he was disappointed to find holes and a lot of things happening at the mine. So he made a declaration to say, let's close this mine. Minister, what is happening? Can we close this mine? The mines were closed. And he made a declaration, no one in this perimeter of an area of PCB and Kampoko should mine in that area. Those instructions were given to every Zambian. Every Zambian had to understand. But a few individuals came up with plans to say, let us do the mining here. We have been given a license. So it was unfortunate that my brothers that who were found in this issue, they never understood. They're the ones that were leaders of today and tomorrow to come. And the issues of water under the bridge have gone now. So initially, they were arrested because we had made and told the Republic of Zambia to say, no, Mr. President, but you had said no one should mine here. So we pray for the betterment to come.
How secured is our minerals, really? Because I listen to you, it appears that maybe we don't have people that seems to be responsible in protecting these minerals. Really, it had to take the president himself moving from here in Lusaka, the capital city, moving away from State House, going to Mwinlunga there, to go and unearth all these issues. When there were people there, or there are people that were supposed to manage these resources.
IP, I've just mentioned to you that His Excellency...
What does it mean, really?
His Excellency had gone to Mwinlunga to open up the hydro, other things. But of course, he's going with the Minister of Mines. There are mines that would help the GDP of this country, the growth of this country, the economy and everything, to say so, etc. But for him to see all those things that he has never seen in his life, Zambia is too big. It needs people to govern together to help the people of Zambia, the economy to grow. So whatever that happened then, it wasn't pleased by him. Seeing up the report that he was getting, they were just from the media. We are the police state, but you know, human beings are difficult to control. It's a nature. It takes time for them to understand. So whatever happened around that area was so much disappointing that even the minister himself wasn't given a clear picture. But it takes a man of action, like His Excellency President Edgar Lungu, to say, no, guys, let's sit down together to come up with something that can help the people of Zambia.
Today we are boasting, Mr. Oashuhood, that as a country we are one of the biggest copper producers in the world, as well as second in Africa. You know, but 55 years of independence, or 56, you know, we don't seem to be fully benefiting from these minerals we have in this country. You know, what could be the problem? Is it the problem with the leadership that we have today, the leadership that we had yesterday, or maybe some years back, that really as a country which has been endowed with all these mineral resources, we are still begging from other countries?
You know, IP, what I will tell you about the mining industry. Our friends outside Africa, they built their nation with a basement local knowledge. They were advancing from local knowledge to understanding of advanced machineries in the mining sector. The same people came up with an idea, brought machineries without telling us, or without us knowing or learning how local knowledge works, what we should do. All these things, we just jumped into theory of understanding how mining is done. We have not learned the machines, how they work. So from our generation, that ECL, the Republican president, has done is, he's now training youths in what we call skills training to understand how a smelter goes about. He's putting youths asking Kansanshi, KCM, where he's allowing the investors now to go to also to the locals to come in and work together with the investors, to work together with the locals, which will help in the next 10 years. It's a learning phase, of course. I can't blame President Edgar Lungu. I wasn't there when the time they're working under the CCMIH. You know? So for now, we have said to us youths, whatever the CCM is doing right now under the leadership of Chipata is to train the locals from the local knowledge, which is he has allowed at the CCM, into the advancement of learning how the smelter works like, how these screening machines works like. We are learning now. So we are going to learn for the next 5 to 10 years for us to build up a nation. We can't build a nation in one day.
We have to wait until the next 10 years for us to learn those skills, really?
Initially, we are learning
or for us to buy those machineries and the likes.
IP,
you know.
I'll give you an example.
It is not a shame to our country.
It can be a shame. That I'll accept. But I'll give you an example. Our forefathers, didn't learn these things.
All right.
So it only takes men of now, us youths, to learn these things very fast, to capture over the 21st century whatever is happening around the world. Chile, talk about Chile, the highest production of copper in the world.
Sure.
Talk about Australia, those guys know how to discover minerals around the world. It's now that we are coming up, all these ideas are coming up. So many youths have become interested in mining sectors at now. They have understood how sweet gold is, how sweet copper is, how sweet emerald is. So it's not a laughable situation. We need to learn these things. It won't even take us another 10 years, maybe, to say so. Because initially, if this system has allowed the youth to understand how the mining sector should go all about, they are teaching them to the local knowledge. He has accepted that let the local knowledge people come, the chisel, the shovel guys, come together, then we'll teach them, we'll open up schools around and allowing yourself, IP, to go to South Africa and Pretoria, North Pretoria, to go and learn about mining engineering, to go and learn about a specific machine which can come here. So we are also advancing, asking ZCCM to say, no, ZCCM, can you also take our local people to go and learn those machines in Zimbabwe and come and teach other youths? So it's a learning phase, of course.
Are the foreigners, Mr. Oashuhood, willing to empower, to transfer that knowledge, to the local people, so that maybe in the few years to come from now, we can be independent? We can maybe say, excuse us, we can able to do this now. Are they willing?
Of course, IP. That's what's going to happen. There's nothing way out. Maybe in the next 2 years. As I'm talking to you right now, if you go to Mununga, you'll be impressed what the leadership of Chipata is doing. There are so many local which His Royal Highness Chibwika has allowed to learn about the machines in Kasenseli. Even in Mumbwa, even in Rufunsa, they are teaching them. We never knew about all these GPS detectors. It's now that Zambia has acquired for the past 3, 4, 5 years to know all about, learn about the basement of stones, machines that are coming now. It's a new technology, of course. So we can't laugh at ourselves. It's to do a hard work job for us to do all these things.
In terms of the leadership, when I sit sometimes, my heart bleeds. And I want to believe that it's not only me alone as IP,
yes,
but also a number of Zambians that are watching us right now, because I can tell you that the mines we have today, like I've told you, I've reminded you, most of the mines we have in Zambia, they are owned by foreigners. They are manned by foreigners. And these are the people that at some point as Zambians we fought, calling them as colonial masters, calling them as thieves. But again today we've brought those people back in this country to be running our own resources. And remember that when an investor comes here, they will not prioritize the interest of the people in that country he or she is investing, but the people in his country.
The IP, there are new rules which have come on the board over the investments in this country under ZDA and immigration, which allows a local man, a local woman, a local mother, a local father to get 30%, 40%. In that also to do what we call skills training for the youths. So I believe that as much as we would say we are disappointed, in before of our independence, Kaunda ran these mines also with the CCMIH and the local companies that were there. Did they do much? That's a question we could ask. But I would give, regardless of the corruption people are talking about, I would give a hand to President Edgar Lungu or Chipata or Fraud Mlunda or the CCMIH, the guys on all the sites that we have in the country, to say, we are learning. The learning won't take us another 5 to 15 years. We are learning now the 1 year 6 program, the 2 year 6 program, for the betterment to build our nation. That's what is happening now.
Right.
So I would not laugh to myself, because I'm Zambian, of course. So for me to say we are learning, it means we run fast to catch up with the 21st century.
There is one policy, of course, that has been given. It's like we are treating, and I'm sorry, I don't want to sound as if I'm a sadist, as a person who hates the foreigners. Okay. But I have to make mention this, that there's this very, what I can call a stupid policy, for lack of better words, that we have in this country, where we treat foreigners or foreign investors as if they are, they are eggs. When a foreign investor comes into our country, we give them what you call tax break holidays and the likes, maybe for 5 years, 10 years, all right? When they make money, later on again, they begin to pretend as though they didn't make profit. They begin to lament, fighting against our government. Later on, you see them packing their bags, they go after making money. This is the kind of governance we want in our country.
This is what I face that one of the issues which Minister of Finance is looking at.
Right.
To let our people take care of the businesses that these investors are coming in. This is what they're sitting on. You can't just decide in a thing without looking into the future. Right. So the changing of these taxes you're talking about, the Ministry of Mines has been working on those to let the people understand why our local men should go and build up or come up with a company like this footballer in Cameroon, Eto, who has built up on telecommunication company, okay, and employ the people of that country to take care of the issues. We have in Zimbabwe we have one man, liquid telecommunication, is handled by a local person who went to learn somewhere in London and came back in Zimbabwe. In Zambia also we are coming up with these companies so that our local people should invest into them with their monies. But how is the security? Those are the issues that also the measures that Minister of Finance is looking at as the main board of the main ministry looking into the economy of this nation. So I would also repeat to say, I would not laugh to myself. I won't laugh at myself because we are saying our generation is a different generation that will help and build, contest and move together with these old timers who have always been recycled in these political circles. This is what President Edgar Lungu is working on. This is what Her Excellency Inongawena is working on. This is what he has been talking on. Say, let us do this to our own people and youths. So it's not a bad egg of the governance. There are few individuals that are into that goodness or badness of the bad egg.
A number of people I've spoken to and I've interviewed on this program, when you turn the coin on the other side again, they will say the problem that we have in this country again is the PhD syndrome, where if you see a local business person here, coming up, those in power, they will try by all means, more especially if you are, you are connected to politics, and then they will try by all means to, bring you down. It's like we are so jealous to empower our own. We are so rigid to empower our own people. That's what the problem is. I can tell you that we've got a number of people that have got the potential to turn this country around within the country.
The syndrome of an African man.
But the political issue, again, is something that to fight.
No, the syndrome of an African Zambian man, together with myself, is one more thing.
Right.
That I won't hide on you.
Right.
Today we'll talk of so many issues together with Honey B, all these guys. A Zambian should understand one more thing. If I go out there, I'm given a contract or something to do with the government, I come up with an idea to build something that will benefit 1 million Zambian. Zambian government will say, okay, they have sat in the cabinet, or the Minister of Finance has sat down, or ZRA have come up with a software to help a Zambian man. If they give him a 1 million kwacha, that's equal to fact.
Right.
Equal to fact, my brother. I'm a PhD order, or I'm a degree order, I'm a bachelor's, whatever it is. A Zambian man, I'll tell you the truth, he's given a 1 million kwacha. You know what he'll do the first thing? Instead for him to concentrate, that's a taxpayer's money that you and me we are paying every day. He will leave the country, go and watch a wrestling or football in London. Not to focus on that. Those are the facts that I've seen to many Zambians. I've been fighting, even sometimes I'm telling the President, can you wake up, Your Excellency? This is wrong. Right. Okay? Why? Because the people that are given, he's helping them with his whole heart. Here, somebody comes at the Ministry of Finance, as ZRA is given a tender to supply certain things. He's given $1 million, $2 million. Instead for him to do the right thing, he's going to get things for free. Cheap is expensive. Who do you blame? A Zambian government or an individual? Those are two different issues that, as a country, we should look at. That's why every Jim and Jack is pointing at the minister, is pointing at the president, but he seems got a wrong thing in his heart. Even those who are principled, IP, they do the same things. So who are we? That's the question that I want to ask. Are we here to help the Zambian people? Or are we here to help my son or my daughter to go to London? Even these ministers in the office, they do the same thing. They're disappointing the president because they first put their core. I as minister of tech whatever, or technology and science, or education, I. My son opens a company, supplies. Not forgetting that there are so many individuals around there. Heti Kalungu will never leave his office to come and supervise a minister who knows why he was appointed to be a minister. So who is the problem? It's me who is a Zambian. And the other problem that we have, too much of theory, too much of talking Zambians. Tell me one engineer who has ever created to build a road in this country. We have so many engineers at the University of Zambia. Our own university here. I don't know if it's this side or this side. What have they done? The contracts, look at what they did. Disappointment, how Edgar Lungu was disappointed, His Excellency. Or the minister himself, the new minister, Vincent Mana, has found himself in this chaos. They are given roads to do. They are failing to build a road. In our own nation. Let one call me and challenge me right now. Look at the flyover bridge which they are given to build as engineers. So when are we going to change?
Which one?
The old bridge, the flyover bridge which is nearby here.
The Alikinkata.
Yes. Those are local people.
And who's to blame there?
Eh? It is us locals, of course.
Not the minister as well. The minister of local government is to blame because he allowed that,
why am I
to go on.
IP? Why am I an engineer? The question is, why am I an engineer? Of course, I need to do my homework properly.
Of course, he was advised in the first place to say that bridge wasn't suitable for human consumption. What happened? That was from his personal permanent secretary, Eddie Chomba. He did advise him. Said this bridge was not suitable for human consumption. What happened? He went and castigated him. What we see 3 months down the line is the bridge again being redone. So where's the problem? Can we blame an engineer?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
We have moved in so many countries. Sure. IP, I'll tell you the truth. Chomba did that. He did the right thing. Is the minister an engineer? Is he a contractor? Who was given to contract that bridge? Did they work out? Did they see us around what is underneath? Did they do the homework properly? For them to give their texture, whatever it is they call texturing all the bridge, I don't know whatever they call these engineers, guys. Did they give them proper? Did they know that it's good consumption for human beings? All these were not looked at. Money was looked at. I need to fly to London. I need to pay my school fees. I need to buy a Range Rover. That's why Pombe Magufuli, a minister, would drive a Corolla because he knows what he's doing. President who has tried to help the people of Zambia. He has tried. That you cannot from the fact. Palastela Kalipano Kalipa becomes upset. So his ministers and the people that are given contract are a problem. Comrade IP. That I'll tell you the truth.
Right.
Yeah. It's not about talking about one individual. The coin is, you spoke about the coin. Yeah. Both sides. So his ministers are also a problem. They should call people that understand how things are done. So I would not go and point President Edgar Lungu myself. Every Zambian, anywhere in the world, there's so many things happen, corruption, but anyone should think, if I'm doing the right thing, what am I doing? To please the people of Zambia? Is it going to supply or apply to the economy of this country? Those are a few things that we don't get to true technical, true in our heart for the benefit of our people. IP.
Moving forward, Mr. Oashuhood,
are you happy with my answer, IP?
Not really.
Why?
On the Alikinkata bridge, I'm not convinced. I'm sure even the viewers are not convinced. Because I'll remind you once again to say that bridge really, I would say it was certified by the minister himself, local government minister, Dr. Charles Banda. And if you ask me, or if it was in the countries where there is high standards of morals, I'm sure Dr. Banda by now would have gone for misleading the country. Because according to him, he believed that that bridge was suitable by he went on to castigate his personal permanent secretary. And by the way, a PS is a
controlling
technocrat.
officer.
You understand?
Is Chomba
They
engineer
understand
for local
better.
government housing? He's not.
Whether he understands or he doesn't understand, but the truth of the matter is that a PS has got more capacity, or he can give you a better judgment than a minister who is just a politician. You understand? A politician can, with due respect I have to them, okay, sometimes they just wake up and they pronounce something that is not correct for political mileage and the likes. But when you hear it from a PS, you need to give them a benefit of doubt. And that's what happened on that bridge.
Okay, then I don't know why also the PS never called these people to redo, which they are now redoing then.
Which people? It did advise them.
To redo the construction of the bridge.
It told them to say that bridge was supposed to be brought down then and there. And he was reprimanded by his boss, was the minister. So whom to blame there?
Both is to blame.
No, you can't.
I'm telling you, there are things that happen in these government issues inside. That we cannot talk on camera.
What are the issues? Maybe you can educate us.
I don't want to be caught
Right.
on a camera. That will be outside the camera.
Right.
Yes, Comrade IP.
All right, let's move on. In terms of for how long do you think Zambia will build capacity in its own people that to one day resurrect and begin to run the mines? Just from your own research as one of the experts in this sector.
My small knowledge, I think, for Zambia to build a capacity that will build our nation, it can take another 6 to 7, 10 years.
Right.
We have a long way to go as a nation. That's a fact. We need to learn so much about mining sector.
What does it take for one to run a mine?
It's not an easy thing.
What is needed?
Of
What
course,
pieces should be put in place?
There are both sides in mining. There's local knowledge, there's education, technocrats that we have like the Georges at Ministry of Mines, all these people. But also practical becomes the first priority for anyone who's just to learn. How does the belt of gold go? How does the belt of emerald go down there? All these things must be tabled. So if I remove an emerald stone, is it not broken? Is it okay? So we need local people that understand all these things to come together. That's why I was telling you that this is the wake-up call, and this is what CEO Chipata is doing right now to help the locals to build a nation together so that Zambia should have a better way of more production in gold, more production in emerald.
And the issue of illegal mining activities as well, not only in Kasenseli, but we can talk about other places.
We have seen IP.
You go to Rufunsa, it's the same issue.
Comrade IP, I was in Rufunsa, I think 3 to 4, I said 2 months ago.
Right.
The illegal mining has reduced.
Right.
Because every Jim and Jack has understood that mining, you should have a paper, you should have a license, you should have also certificates to sell or trading permits that should go around the nation. You can transport or export goods out of the country. So many people, the Ministry of Mines, few individuals of them were sent in provinces to teach these locals how mining, safety number one, should be done. So in each province, they used to get a provincial surveyor. Also, all these guys at head office of Ministry of Mines to teach them how things must be done, how you can require a license, how you can come if you want to bring a partner, how much you to give a partner, a local should get 51, another guy 49%. All this that's what right now the Ministry of Mine under Musuka they are doing. Okay? I've experienced this in Northwestern, I've experienced this in Eastern Province, in Wapula, in Mchinga. This is what they are doing. But Zambia sits on different minerals in this country.
I did attend one of the forum where, of course, where people are discussing about the laws under the mining sector. And one of the complaints that stood out, if you ask me, was the Mining Act, which most of the people now, mostly local people, they feel that the act is a little bit archaic. And they feel that there's need for us to ensure that we refine or we update the the policies surrounding the Mining
This is what
Act.
they are working on as
You
Minister
know,
of Mines.
and if you look at ours and compare it with the Botswana, that of Botswana seems to be a little bit advanced. It favors more of the locals. You never see the issues to deal with, you know, citizens' displacements and the likes.
That's what I'm saying.
Here there's nothing.
This is what the Ministry of Mines is doing.
All right.
They work on the new act, which will benefit more of the local people.
Right.
I think on that one, you would like to call one of the guys from Ministry of Mines
Right.
who sit on that board. I think there's a board that sits under cadastre and Safe Mines, Geological Survey, all these guys that come up with the rules and laws of Mining Act 2018, 2019. They're working on the act initially this time.
Something that I will bring to our attention as well, and I want to hear it from you as one of the experts, is that the mining sector now has been taken by the people that, you know, aligned to the government. You know, you can't operate freely if you are not connected to the powers that be.
Who says so, Comrade Ivy? Who has said so? Who's lying to who? It's a lie.
Right.
We should also support our government, even if they are not truthful in their 45% or 70%. Everyone is benefiting to whoever applies the license. Whoever wants to have a license, they are giving out. The problem is that Oashuhood wants to go to apply a license inside Chilibwe, inside Katoka Mema. For what reason? There's a license there. And I want to force the minister to give me a ministerial consent to have a license. This is why we make a mistake. If I've got money, then that guy doesn't have a license. Why should I not come to you and say, my brother, I have got $10 million or $5 million or $1 million or 2 million kwacha. I've got machines that can help us to unearth or get out minerals that we can sell and produce this and that. This is a lie. We want to use power, and we want to use a chief from so-and-so to go and intimidate a minister, intimidate a PS, intimidate a director, intimidate a supervisor in the ministry to say, no, or I want to get a councillor from Mandevu to go and intimidate a director at the Ministry of Mines for me to have a license. They are lying. They want to be getting everything that they want to get. That's a lie. I'll tell you that.
All right.
What we should do as Zambians is to accept that behind ZAF, there's a God. And one of the licenses is Piri Tembo. So Piri Tembo, I've got this idea. Only if Piri Tembo says, no, I think, I don't believe in this, then something can be taken on handle. Not lying to whatever we think or whatever we're talking about. It's a lie, Comrade IP.
Right.
I will tell you the truth. There was a situation where Musuka was found in. Honorable Musuka, I'll give you an example. Sure. Black Essential owns a license in Kasempa. Because I'm a local from Kasempa, I want to force Musukwa, to give me a presidential consent. If Musukwa leaves office, somebody comes in and said, the minister Elad, so let him go to court. We are the same people, you and me, who talk on TV. You see Musukwa was corrupt, but Musukwa wasn't corrupt. So why can those locals go to the Black Essential, the Black Essential? They wanted 5 artisans in one license. Example given. 5 artisans because they come from Senior Chief Kasempa. Those are the examples I want to give you. So what is the benefit for them? They go to Black Essential. Black Essential, we've got investors. There's a belt of copper here. Kasempa is rich of copper, by the way. I think it must have 35 from Kalengwa % of copper. You can sell it 1 ton of copper ore in Kasempa. You can go away with $3,000. Why can't they say we have Chinese? They have paid us $2 million. So let's sit with Ministry of Mines and we want a consent. He writes a consent, he gives you, you go and benefit. But, I come from the chief, so give me the license, give me 5. It's not right. How are we going to develop our mind in advancement of our future for somebody to benefit? That's an issue which is on the table now. Comrade IP.
Right. Dear viewers, you are watching a special finance with me, Innocent Piri IP, and of course my guest is Malambo Oashuhood, who happens to be the Zambian Youth League president. We are here discussing the issues to deal with the mining sector in Zambia and also the illegalities around it. Apart from that as well, we look at the plight of the young people in Zambia. And you are the president, Mr. Oashuhood. I want to believe that one of the critical issues at hand is that of job creation among the young people. For a long time, Zambians or the youth have been complaining about lack of jobs in this country, and you are running that exactly institution where young people always advance their concerns to you with regards to the need for job to be created. What is your take on this issue? And now we are under the Patriotic Front government, the party that in 2011 came with a bang with regards to creating jobs for the young people. And again, these concerns up to now are still coming. What's your take on that?
Comrade IP, I want to understand something that maybe I haven't gotten clearly. Job creation. What is job creation? What are we talking about job creation? How? Initiative that we have laid out to different ministries. Government looks at a simplistic term to say, how are we going to pay workers? Where are we going to get the money? Are we still going to borrow the money and pay for us to create jobs? How do you create this job creation we are talking about as a nation? Those are the things that I always tell my fellow youths. If in Zambian Youth League, what we have been doing, even to Kansanshi, or even what we have brought about to CMIH, or these where we see there's money in those companies, Comrade IP, is that we have written to them. These are our youths that we have. First of all, we look at where the money is situated, or where the company is situated. This is what we have. We know that you are paying workers. Can these people be on job on training?
Right.
After that, if they learn practically, they can create their own employment around themselves. They will be given what to do inside those companies. We have also written to Ministry of Health before. We are Ministry of Health in Western Province or combined with NGOs, USAID. They have employed youths. That's an initiative that we have had. We have followed up permanent secretaries all over the country. You ask in Kabwe, the PS in Kabwe, the Minister in Kabwe, Copper Belt, Eastern Province, to say, do you have any spaces? We start with the local first, local people. No corruption on that one. If any NGO comes in the province, wants to employ 1,000 agents or whatever it is, we are the first ones who have written a letter, will be caught. We have a provincial chairman for Western Province, Nyama Chisola, of Zambian Youth League, who has been writing letters all over the country. And so far, 2,000 youths that we have helped. In 6 months, 7 months, 8 months of job creation that are working now, the system, out of the public government sector to the private sector. Pushing government with an agenda. If Finnish Embers comes up with money to create jobs, we give them. If they are going to Mongo in Shangombo, this is what we have. These are the youths who are qualified. They'll get a driver, they'll get a what, so many people are gotten. Recently, we had an issue of ZESCO, where ZESCO wants to employ a local person, wants to employ somebody as a driver. That's also a job for a Zambian at this level where we are. Because we are still very far to advance like South Africa, to go into England, London. So we need your mind and my mind to come up with different technical things that can help, like Samsung to build our own phone, to build our own cars, our own planes. We are still far. That we should accept. We're into a learning process as a nation. But as much as we become fast, we'll learn so many and create more jobs. So in Mwinunga, we've said, okay, let a local person be employed. Don't bring an outsider. So this is the mindset that we have as Zambian Youth League.
So for you, it's the mindset. It's the issue to do with mindset.
Everything comes to the mind, of course. Comrade IP. How can you do something without the mind?
Of course, the government has to play its part in creating a conducive environment. For also that if you want to do business, you are given that support, fully support. If you want to get job, there shouldn't be issues to deal with. No malpractice along the way. Like the allegations we have now, that for you to get anything in Zambia, be it job, you need to get all those connections. Issues of corruption.
Comrade, comrade, what is corruption? That's the question I want to ask you. What is corruption? Peter comes in to apply for a job as a human resource manager. He gives his paper. The papers are thrown under the chair. Okay? What is corruption? John comes in. He gives out 5,000 to get a job. What is corruption? Corruption is both sides. The one receiving and the one giving out. That's corruption. So the ACCA, that we have a board or whatever, is it a company or a board, should understand what is corruption. They should not look to one side of calling Churufia or calling Kak or whoever it is. They should look both sides. Who is doing the corruption here? The one giving out or the one accepting? That's what we need to talk about. This is what the police is supposed to understand. What is corruption? Why everything that they want to do is, I'll do it tomorrow. What is corruption? Those receiving or those giving out. Both of them, they are corrupted people. This is what we have been looking at, crying to the Republic of Zambia as a government. What is corruption? We don't understand what is corruption. One time, one of my friends was arrested on a roadblock. He gets a phone. Hey, Commissioner. Oh, how are you, sir? Yes, sir. Hey, I've been arrested. Okay? I've been arrested. Example given. Yeah, what is it? I don't have a license. You don't have a license? Okay, give the officer the phone. Officer. Hey, Constable, how are you? What is the problem, Constable? That is corruption. If Jim and Jack is found with such problem, he must be charged. That's the only way we're going to finish corruption. Okay? If people lie to me that, oh, I went to Northwestern and I was impersonating, I will tell you that I've got no time. So many people stand up and say, Oashuhood can never do such things. This is what we are missing as a nation. Somebody wants to get fingerprints at police. Hey, Superintendent, Bwana Mkubwa, I'm sending some friends there to do. That's corruption. Corruption is not just something that somebody can do.
Maybe such things are happening because we do not have, we are failing to give a stiffer punishment to such kind of characters. Even when things are happening, we know that this person perhaps is, practicing corruption again. We just want to treat them.
I've just given. I'll repeat to my example I've given. You are driving a vehicle, going on the road. There's no money transaction. Okay? Yeah. In between the two. You get a phone. I call. Hey, Commissioner, how are you, sir? Yes. I've been arrested. I left my license, driving license at home. So talk to your constable. He's here. Oh, okay, give me a phone, give me a phone. He gives the phone. That's corruption.
How much do you blame in that case?
Both of them. The one calling and that officer who's answering the phone.
Such issues.
Listen to Comrade IP before you go on.
Yeah.
Charity, who's this? Esther Katongo, the police spokesperson, praised the police officer who refused to be corrupted in Copper Belt. So I don't want 10,000 questions. I don't want to get it. Get your money. Go with it. So what I'm asking the people of Zambia, who is corrupting? All these tenders you are looking at, ZRA, Ministry of Health, who is doing all these things? If you and me went to health and we refused to give a contract, who is a corrupt person? No, come tomorrow. Somebody walks in because I'm a PF member. I get a tender. It's given. Me, I come. If I don't remove something under the table, my tender won't come out. That's corruption. This is what the whites are laughing at us.
There must be somebody that should act decisively.
Of course.
And that, of course, should start with maybe the main man himself,
of course, even the guys.
Become a little bit aggressive.
Even the guys.
And give more powers to these, be it police officers, be it the SEC.
Yeah. Look at our men that have given to handle law and rule into these issues. They are also a very big problem. Okay. They're also a very big problem. People have called Inspector General of Police names. Have not found him with a problem. Not because maybe he favors me or maybe he wants to talk. No, I've got no relationship with him. The question is, who corrupts a person? Who corrupts each other? You don't have patience to wait for that thing to be answered. Those are the things that we're looking at. So the person that starts is a problem. If he thinks that this person is doing the right thing, go up to another level, the boss. I've told him to do, he's not doing it. The boss will get a file and give to another person. This is one of the things I've defended Kakoma Kanganja. These are things I've defended even the West that Campion can be, people call him. I've defended him in some ways. This is what also I've defended Edgar Chagalungu, the Republican President of Zambia. Maybe not to me, because I'm not perfect, by the way. I sit on credits also, I'm a human being. But these are the most things that I've asked the people of Zambia. Why are we not doing the right thing? Too much of theory, too much of knowing, I know, but an empty tin with that can never do a practical thing. This is the problem of this country.
From all you've said, Mr. Oashuhood, would you tell me and the people of Zambia watching us right now to say our government, our president, and the government in total, they are very much, ready to fight corruption?
I've had spoken, Comrade IP, with you. What is corruption? Who starts corruption?
I want you to answer this question just in one word.
One word.
Yes, is the PF capable, or the government, ECL, capable to fight the corruption that people have
if
been
we say ECL,
alleging about?
ECL is not a government alone. The president of Zambia is not a government alone. The government is the people together, you and me. Let's make a Republican. We are ready
I
to
ask
fight
this
corruption.
question because most of
We are ready to
most
fight
of the people are
corruption.
saying is incapable to fight
They are
corruption.
lying. They are
They're saying
lying
he's
because
entertaining this corruption.
No, they are
others
lying.
accusing him that is part of the people that are benefiting from this corruption.
Like which one? Can we have an example? Like which one?
Of course, people cited the examples that there has been a lot of ministers that have been accused in corruption, and instead of
I just need one
instead of
example.
suspending them, for example,
Comrade IP.
I can give an example. For example, Chitotela, when he was in court, he was serving. He continued serving as a minister. We had Dr. Chilufi as well. While it's appearing in court, he was serving as a minister. A number of them.
Let's talk of one more thing. The honeybee.
No, not honeybee. I want you to answer that question.
So many examples.
Is that a demonstration that one is really serious in the fight against corruption? You've got a minister who has been cited in with corruption, and then you let him continue serving.
I'm not defending any minister here
Yes.
or anyone. Who served or who said that minister is corrupt? Who was involved? Because a minister is a political appointee. Let me just go there.
Right.
A minister is a political appointee by the president. Comes the permanent secretary. The minister only influence what the permanent secretary writes, the controlling officer. There's the procurement, director, head of procurement, all these guys. Why are they only targeting on the minister? Why is not the procurement said, okay, it's okay? Why don't do that?
It was not the Zambians. It was not the Zambians
Who are they?
that accused, for example, Honorable Chitalu Chilufi at that time. It was the SEC.
The SEC.
It was the SEC that took Chitalu Chilufi to court. It was actually the
Did
SEC
they
that
do
took
the
Ronald Chitotela to court.
Comrade IP.
And morally, there are no laws actually that can force someone maybe to be suspended. All right, but morally, to pave way for proper and smooth investigations. What the Zambians cried for that time was just for them to be pushed aside and allow the investigation to take place. For you, that was okay.
It wasn't okay.
Right.
It wasn't okay. Maybe there was an error which was acted on that time. But every human being learns a mistake. Either he's a president, a vice president, they learn those mistakes.
Would you say the president made a mistake, right, at that time?
I won't answer that question, Comrade IP, for now. I will reserve it. Because the president, I think there are rules and laws that he follows. I don't know which rule and law which the ACC used to take Chitalo to court. Because who was with Chitalo in that case? That's a question you and me should ask myself. Was the head of procurement there? Was the permanent secretary not taken to court? Who signs on the contract? Is the permanent secretary or the ministry? Why was Chitalo taken to court? That's the question I want to ask you. How? Because he's the minister. Did he get a phone and influence the PS that signed that contract for those guys? Why did the, if they saw that there are auditors in that company or Ministry of Health, why did the head of procurement or director of procurement allow that thing to go on? Ethica can never leave his office to come and deal with Ministry of Health. If SCC can never investigate, look at my cases I've brought to the police. I've done my all pure investigation, taken to the police. Evidence is this. We went to the police. They went there, arrested somebody in Dubai. Why? Because we knew that he had stolen.
Right.
So the SCC didn't do a good job. That's what came out clean. If SCC, Comrade IEP, did a good job, they would have taken the papers from procurement. How do you give this tender out? Bring an expert to understand the tender, how they give tender out. Arrest the head of procurement. Arrest, if now they say, even the minister wrote, but if he told me, is it true for me to give this tender? Those are things that we need to look around. So whom are we blaming here? Is it the president, the minister, the head of procurement? These are facts of humanity. The way our whites laugh at us as Africans. Who gives the tender out? The PS signs. How did the PS give an instruction on the paper to give out that tender? That's why Chitaru was left clean. Because they never did a good job.
I want us to move away from the issues of corruption. I know we've got less than 5 minutes to go, but I also need, I know that a lot of young people have resurrected, have risen, wanting to take part in this year's general election, which will be coming in the next 4 to 5 months from now. First of all, as a leader of a youth organization, how do you look at that move? How do you feel that most of young people have taken interest to stand as leaders, members of parliament?
Maybe it's the way how they want to understand things, how they should be governed in this country. I once saw a rumor, I don't know if it's true, where Munia Zulu was withdrawing from Romezi constituency that is being intimidated by the provincial chairman and other guys in Eastern Province. I don't know if it's a rumor or...
He didn't withdraw as
There was a
Romezi
statement.
aspirant, but
There's
he withdrew from standing on the Patriotic Front ticket.
Yes.
He's going alone.
On independence,
Yeah.
per se. So, but there was a statement which came out on Facebook saying he's been fighting with the provincial. I don't know how the conflict they have.
That is confirmed.
So any interest part of the youth in this country that is trying to take part of election should go with one motive.
Right.
Betterment for the people in that ward, betterment for the people in that constituency,
Right.
betterment for the people in that section. What is his contribution that is going to bring to the people of that constituency, that ward, that section? What is the idea that you're going to float out, Comrade IP, to the people of Kakatete constituency or Milanzi constituency or Mpulungu constituency? There is Buga fish. What am I going to help employment? All those sort of things you bring about. So many youths have gotten interest. In which capacity interest they have gotten? That's what I don't understand. So if fellow youths, if they want to get interest in this, they should also go with a goal to develop that constituency, that district, to contribute to the GDP of this country.
Are you one of them?
I'm not standing. Initially, I've put my young brothers to stand.
Right.
I've got an agenda. I've got a plan to run maybe in 2031 as the president of this country.
Oh.
That is my
2031.
2031. I'm running for president in this country.
Right.
I'm doing my own calculation that I'm running as a Republican president of this country.
Right.
For now, I've left it for the people.
What would you want to change if you became president in 2031?
Of course.
What would be the first agenda would you want to achieve?
Of course, the building up so many companies, bringing in sanitation into, or bringing, taking off, laying off corruption. That is my first song that I'm singing every day. For the betterment, to keep money in our coffers, for the betterment of our people.
Right.
That's one of my agenda that I have written down.
Another young man in Uganda by the name of Bobby Wine, Robert Kyagulanyi, again, is taken on, Yoweri Museveni. And unfortunately has lost the election, but just basically on his participation and how Ugandans conducted their elections, what lessons can we learn as a country?
It is a plus for the people of Uganda to give a young man a chance to stand as president at the age of 38. Maybe there are few things that he hasn't understood in the system of learning governance. In every country, Trump complained about fraud, rigging that Bob Wine has been complaining. So who governs the nation? Bob Wine should understand those things. Who's behind governance? In every country you go on, they will tell you, as I close now, people of power. Those are my words, Comrade IP. People of power. How do you govern nations? It has been a syndrome of Africa. They say people of power, which in my tenure, we shall sort out all those things.
Right.
To free and fair election, 2031.
Right.
Thank you so much, Comrade IP, for your time, and God bless you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for coming. I know that you've been traveling all the way from Northwestern. We will come you again back to Muvi TV. You are part of this family. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much. May God bless Zambia. God bless everyone.
Thank you so much. Dear viewers, we end our discussion here. My guest has been Malambo Oashuhood, Zambian Youth League President. And of course, we've been discussing the issues to deal with the mining in Zambia and also the illegal activities around the sector. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Innocent Piri IP. On behalf of my director, Charity Mtonga, camera person, Obvious Kapunda Trobish upstairs there, thank you so much for that fantastic work, team. May God bless Zambia. May God bless Mother Africa. Good night.